The following script was written, verified, and approved by compliance professionals at financial regulation courses. FINRA Rule 311.0 requires every member firm to establish and maintain a system for supervising the activities of each associated person that is reasonably designed to achieve compliance with securities laws. This is the foundational supervisory obligation that underlies the entire regulatory framework. Without it, every other conduct rule would be unenforceable in practice. It makes all other rules operational, from suitability obligations to anti-money laundering requirements, ensuring member firms can detect and prevent violations before they harm investors. Rule 3110 requires implementation, enforcement, and documentation of actual supervision, not merely policies. Failure to supervise is one of the most frequently charged violations in FINRA's disciplinary program. FINRA treats these failures as evidence of systemic weakness. Individual representative misconduct is compounded when adequate supervision would have detected it. The foundational requirement is the obligation for every firm to establish and enforce written supervisory procedures, known as WSPs. These are the documented operational framework through which supervisory obligations are translated into executable daily compliance activities. They specify what is reviewed, who conducts the review, how frequently, and the documentation generated to evidence that the review occurred. WSPs must describe the specific individuals responsible for each review by name or position title, ensuring clear accountability. They must specify frequencies, daily, weekly, or annually, as appropriate to the risk level. The procedures must address a comprehensive range of business activities, not just the most obvious risks. WSPs must be current, reflecting the firm's actual current business and regulatory requirements. Every firm must designate appropriately registered principals with the authority to carry out supervisory obligations. The designation must be specific. Each registered person must have an identified supervisor. Firms must also designate branch offices and offices of supervisory jurisdiction, or OSJs, which serve as focal points for geographically dispersed operations. OSJ designation triggers specific inspection and supervision requirements. Supervisory systems must cover the full range of business activities. Transaction surveillance, whether manual or automated, must identify unsuitable recommendations, excessive trading, or insider trading. Additionally, Rule 3110(b)(4) requires procedures for the review of incoming and outgoing written correspondence, including internal communications, across all channels registered persons use, from traditional paper to text messages and social media. Rule 3110(c) requires periodic inspections of every office location. OSJs must be inspected at least once per year by a principal other than the one responsible for day-to-day supervision. Non-OSJ branch offices must be inspected on a regular periodic schedule, appropriate to the firm's risk profile. Inspection reports must document findings and corrective actions taken to address any deficiencies identified. Firms must also maintain procedures for handling customer complaints, aggregating patterns to detect systemic issues. Furthermore, heightened supervisory procedures are mandatory for associated persons with a history of past misconduct. Finally, Rule 3110(a)(7) requires an annual compliance meeting with each registered person to address regulatory developments and confirm that each person understands their obligations. Rule 3110 works in close coordination with Rules 3120 and 3130. While 3110 establishes the supervisory system, 3120 tests and verifies its effectiveness, and 3130 requires annual CEO certification. Together, they create a complete governance framework. The key takeaways for the Series 7 and 65 are: establish current WSPs, designate registered principals, conduct regular inspections, and maintain rigorous transaction and communication reviews. Knowledge gets you qualified. Visibility gets you hired. Explore financialregulationcourses.com for professional memberships that combine verified profiles, QR code resumes, and intelligent career tools designed to help ambitious finance professionals stand out long before the interview begins. Thank you for your commitment to professional compliance excellence.